Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossy. Rossy, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with a story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossy, and Curly
on the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered
podcast.
Okay. Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and welcome to episode 228 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are three old blokes with one obsession: music that matters. Unfiltered chats with undiscovered artists. Every week on the pod, it's guitars, grit, and the good stuff that you're not going to hear on mainstream radio. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and wherever you're listening and watching, hit that like and subscribe button and share the show with someone that needs some new music in their life. I had a bit of a giggle there, Braggy, because I remembered our last week's episode and we came up with another little saying halfway through the show. And for the life of me, I've forgotten what it was, but it was something like old vibes. What was it about vibes? God, old guys with with new vibes or something. So
I don't remember. I'm old, Curly.
Yeah. All right. We do have a very special guest with us. Nikisha Priest is joining us. And for those watching, you'll see her on screen. But Nikisha, I'm going to just have to ask you to sit quietly while we talk about our footy tipping, because, that's what old blokes do. We love talking about our footy tipping. Another great week for Braggy and Rossy, I guess, is the best way to put it. I know Katie Brooke reached out after I posted our scores for the week, and she said, thank God that's week's over. When you look at the NRL ladder, Rossy is still leading on 18 points. Still in the knockout, and there's only two people left in the knockout too, and that's Katie and Rossy. So we'll see who wins the knockout in the NRL. But Rossy's on top on 18, Tave's on 15 alongside.
Sorry, mate. I didn't hear what Rossy said.
Yeah, I missed it too, Rossy.
Just saying that I think the problem with Katie and I is that we're going to be back on the same side for the knockout every week.
Yeah, the chooks, absolutely. So your good mate Waxy's in line with you, Tave there on second.
Nice.
Cat's on 14, Moose is on 13. Big Stu had a good week, so he's up there on 12, and Katie's on 9, and Curly's on 8. So bringing up the rear. But in the AFL,
just stop tipping the Dragons.
Yeah, that's like me.
You're not allowed
to stop tipping the Roosters, right? So, in the AFL, we got Tave on top with 13, Waxy's on 12, Moose 11, Big Stew's on 10. Don't know how he's done that. Cat's on 10, Rossy's on 10. And Curly's on 10, but he's still coming last because of the way that it works. So combined with us three, Rossy's on 28, Braggy's on 28,
on 28.
Curly's on 18. So I caught up 2 on the leader, so I'm pretty happy with that. So, so far, so horrible. But you'd be pretty happy with that, Braggy. You're being very consistent very early. So,
yeah, it's a long season, eh? So, and
someone could come from the clouds.
That's right.
Yeah.
Katie Brooks probably the dark horse.
Yeah, I think so.
You watch her. I'm happy with that. I haven't got much music to report from this week, though. I don't know if we lost.
Okay.
We didn't lose anybody this week, did we?
No.
No. Usually we do. My exciting news while we're still on the footy is that it's first round this Friday night of the leggies. They're playing our arch rival Sturt, so looking
Dave
forward to that.
Graney's team. Yep.
Dave Graney's team. Yeah. So we've got to get him back on the show.
Yeah, we will. And what's been happening in your world, Rossy?
Doing gigs, prepping for gigs. I've got a theatre opening next week that we've been renovating for the last 3 months. I've got a theatre that's reopening next week. A very famous theatre that's hosted bands like Radio Birdman, Midnight Oil, and AC/DC all worked in my theatre.
Okay.
So, what's the name of the theatre, Ross?
The Marana Auditorium in Hurstville.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a 1,000-seater. The clip for High Voltage was shot there, I'm led to believe.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
But I've seen every band I ever saw for the first time in that room, and I ended up working for about 40% of them.
Oh, wow.
And so it fell into disrepair, and it's been renovated.
It's a council-owned venue. It just needed a bit of love, so we got some. And I actually got some more funding this week for a bit more tech gear in the next 6 months, which is great as well. But we've had floors done, disabled access, all that sort of stuff. It'll be lovely.
And is it just going to be a rock venue, or are we going to be able to have people like our guest tonight on there?
We do lots and lots of wide variety of community events. Chinese opera, dance, country, hip hop, boxing, you name it, we do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good fun. Mick Foley, Mankind's wrestled there actually.
Oh, truly?
Yeah, we've had Lisa Marie Presley there, Don McLean.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, all sorts.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
Don
pretty famous
McLean's
old room.
back. Don McLean is touring at the moment too. I saw.
Yeah, he's got this girlfriend who's about 12, I think. It's really awful.
He's got to be 100 years old.
She'd be 30, right? But it's all relative. He's about 85, Yeah.
Wow.
So we're doing that.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. That's great news. Let's welcome in our guests. We've got Nikisha Priest with us. She's a 20-year-old country rock singer-songwriter from Lake Macquarie, New South Wales. She's easily picked in any crowd because of her unique, edgy country style, topped off with her green hair. Inspired by powerhouse artists like Pink, Amy Winehouse, and Lainey Wilson, she blends a bit of soulful grit, raw honesty, and country rock energy, which connects her to her audience. Welcome to the show, Nikisha.
Hello. How are we all doing today?
Awesome. Nikisha, we use
I'm a big fan of green hair, just saying.
Are you? Well, you know what? I saw this video on MAF's social media, and they had a groom who was very much against green hair specifically. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, no.
I'm guessing Rossy, you're a fan of hair of any kind.
He started, has he? All right. Have you been to Nashville?
Now listen, Nikisha, we usually like to start off to find out, look a bit of the history of our guest and where music first became a thing for you. Was there a specific moment? But I feel like you're only 20, so I feel like the memory's going to be fresh.
I don't know. It was a while ago that I decided I was going to pursue music. I was about 5 years old. I was like, one day, I don't come from a musical family, so the only one. I just randomly, I was 5 years old, went to my mum and just said, I'm going to be a singer now. And she's like, oh, okay. It stuck. So
that's awesome. And we got you on here because you've got this single out called Ace of Spades that you came up in the McDonald's car park. I was just wondering if you've tried any other fast food car parks for any other songs, like.
Maybe I should give it a spin and do a little tour around all the fast food joints and see what songs I come up with.
See what KFC's got hanging in the car park.
See what I've come up with.
Get into Guzman's and pick up some Mexican stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of Zydeco from Guzman's. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll report back and I'll let you know.
But just let us know the story of how that song came about.
Yeah, well, as you said, I was sitting in my car in the Macca's car park. It's one of my classy moments, I reckon. And I have a very wide genre of music that I tend to listen to on my personal playlist. And so at that current moment, I was listening to Ace of Spades by Motorhead. And I was just thinking how cool the concept was of the song and the topic that they went with. And I was just thinking there's so many songs that have the same name title, but every artist takes the story differently. So I was just thinking that with Ace of Spades, and then I have a look at what other artists have songs that are named Ace of Spades and how have they taken the story and the concept. And I didn't really find much. And so I was just thinking maybe I need to write a song called Ace of Spades and put my own twist on it. And then I had this car parked next to me and my surroundings, I just happened to turn my head and on the passenger door, there was an Ace of Spades sticker.
Oh my God.
I know, it sounds fake, doesn't it? And
no, that's great. I mean, I love the way songs
I think you'd find a few Motorhead stickers around Lake Macquarie, though.
I don't know. I haven't actually seen a Motorhead sticker. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right places.
But it's a
go Braggy.
Sorry, Rossy. It's a classic thing to write, especially in country, to write about. Like you got Queen of Hearts, playing with the Queen of Hearts, Juice Newton,
cards,
cards, Jack of Diamonds. Was that?
Yeah, the gambler.
Someone said. Yeah. So it's good that you've joined the country tradition.
Yeah, I guess it is a bit of a tradition.
And the Ace of Spades. Sorry, Rossy. You go.
No, go. No, you keep going, mate. I'm enjoying it.
Okay. I was just going to, because I did have a quick look about the cards because my daughter, she has read tarot in her time. She loves the cards, but the Ace of Spades can be either the power card or the death card.
That is exactly what I went into. I researched all about the card and what it meant in tarot and spirituality, and that's where Motorhead took theirs in the gambling direction, but I took mine in the meaning of the card, and and I really resonated with it actually. So it kind of grew there. That's how the literal writing process was.
Walking on the road, I turn my head, there it is, that sign again. Ace of Spades is following me, can't tell now, but I'm running free. See it now like I saw it then, is it life or death that changes me? The Ace of Spades is a sign for me, I'm looking up and breaking free. The power of darkness is running with me, my long gone past wasn't right for me. I'm starting to feel this journey I'm on. Right there, the Ace of Spades, it's a sign for me. Right there, the Ace of Spades, gonna break free. Playing this game like an old rules continue.
It's when Motorhead were playing poker dice in the back of a van touring around Europe.
Oh,
yeah, right.
So that's what it was about. Yeah. Look, as I've been reading your bio, it says you did some classical training. You went through the con up on the north coast of New South Wales. So, what do you reckon is the most uncountry thing about what you do in your musical upbringing? What what parts of that do you take to what you're doing today?
I definitely, because I'm 100% not traditional country at all. I'm very much country rock, and I take a lot of inspiration from blues music as well. And when I was younger and I was training at the con, I was doing a lot of classical and a lot of musical theatre. So I was really taught from a young age technique and proper training and vocal transitions and all that kind of thing. So, and how to take care of my voice and all that. And then once I actually left the con, I kind of went into country, started going to Tamworth, and I've always grown up with a lot of country around me. My mum would always play the Dixie Chicks, Casey Chambers, and so I always had it kind of there. So I always had a bit of a fondness for country as well in the whole mix. And then I started going to the Tamworth Country Music Festival, and then it really locked in that country was definitely somewhere I felt more, I would say, more myself. That's where musically I wanted to go. And then I released 2 singles when I was about 15, 16. And then I kind of stopped for a while to kind of focus on my writing and actually letting myself grow into where I want, because I was very confused on where I wanted to go musically, because I had so many inspirations from rock, blues, ballads, and country, and it was just kind of, I just didn't know where I was going to go, so I kind of left it for a while. And definitely I would say in the past year I've really come to know that country rock is where I naturally sit really well, and that's where I feel my most genuine self on stage.
Yeah, look, I noticed listening to the early tracks, one of the first ones, the piano and the vocal, it sounded like what young girls do, right? But then the next song sort of had take a bit of a leap. But by the time we get up to Ace of Spades, you can hear that you've got a lot of country rock in you. But so I guess like hanging around country, you've sort of walked in and you've gone. Yeah, you mentioned Casey Chambers, you mentioned the Dixie Chicks. These are not shrinking violet country girls. So, like, when did you sort of go, I'm not in that sweet country girl lane, I'm going to be a green-haired country rock chick? What made you decide that? How'd you pull that off?
Oh, well, I've always been a little bit different, never really quite fit into the status quo. You can't put me in a square because I'm a circle kind of thing. Like in school, I always had colored hair, and I've always been a little bit on my own journey there. And I definitely, at the time of those songs and when I was starting to kind of transition into finding where I actually am, and my songwriting skills as well, actually writing what I want to perform, was a huge thing I had to learn, because we can write ballads and really nice country pop songs, but that's not necessarily what I do on stage, and that's not exactly what I want to do on stage either. I do love a ballad moment, don't get me wrong, but I want to rock out on stage. That's what I do, and I had to actually learn to write like that, because that wasn't a strong suit of mine, and I've really come full circle, and I'm now able to write songs I actually want to perform, instead of writing a song and going, oh yeah, this is a song I wrote, let's just do that. You know what I mean?
I do. I very much do. But you have to find your voice. To find your voice, you have to know who you are, and then you have to know who your audience is, and then off you go. But it takes a while. It takes a lot of people a long time to get there. Some people don't get there till they're much, much older than you are, I got to say.
Still trying to get there.
Mr. Smooth and Smoky up the top there. Yeah.
But you've got some hairdressers in your history too, haven't you? That'd help. Yeah.
Yes. My mum owns a hairdressing salon, and that's where I started my whole journey of I want to be a singer. I was my mum had a home salon, and when I was younger, obviously being at home, and I was just always around singing, and that's what I wanted to do. And mum was she didn't actually know what to do with me at first. She's like, I don't know what to do. I don't do music. I'm a hairdresser. And, I'm very lucky. I have a personal hairstylist, so my hair is always pretty in safe hands. It's in safe hands.
It's an important part of being a performer.
It is.
Sure is, especially my hair is definitely a part of my image and my branding, so it's quite important.
Now, Nikisha, it's noted that you were actually on Idol, Australian Idol, and that is where your auditions took place. So, how did that storyline evolve? Because I'm presuming it was a storyline, and they just didn't walk into lush hair at the Bay on the odd chance that they'd catch a singer. So how did that storyline evolve?
Yeah, well, I was due to have an audition at Idol, and at that current time, my mum owned a hair salon and a beauty salon, and I worked in the beauty salon. And they were coming to do they told me they were just going to come do some filming and the backstory of my life. And then Kyle ended up turning up in his helicopter and just was like, audition, give it to me right now. And I went, okay, let me cancel my appointments and I will.
Bastards.
Wow.
All right. We had scheduled time out that I was going to do filming anyway, so.
Reality TV is not what it seems, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, but they did not tell me the part where Kyle was coming, so.
Yeah.
But my mum knew. My mum knew. Yeah.
So she kept a secret from you?
Yeah. She said something's happening. I don't know what, though. And I was like, okay. Right.
And so that obviously helped. Did that help you actually being put on the spot and audition right then and there, or would you have been more nervous or more prepared going through the interview, the audition process at one of their big audition days that they do? Yeah.
I think, honestly, I was out of my comfort zone doing it right there in the middle of a shopping center in my work uniform, because when I go on stage, I put on like my outfits and my proper like get up that I go on stage. I transform, and I always say, like, at home I'm Nikisha, but on stage I'm Nikisha Priest. Like, that's like I turn into that.
That's right.
Yeah, and so I wasn't able to step into that. I was just Nikisha, who worked at the beauty salon, now has to audition for Australian Idol, and I was a bit out of my league, a little bit. I would have felt a bit more prepared, and if I was in my proper get-up going to an audition, but that's how things pan out, and it's more experience under my belt being thrown under the bus. So, no, it was good.
That's good. You got a positive. You take something positive out of it, because a lot of the guests we've had on here who've done Idol and other things it's been not really good for them,
Yeah, I get that. But honestly, it was a dream working with Kyle. He was really nice, and the whole production crew were lovely to work with, and it was just a really cruisy, easy day. A lot, but it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Yeah, but those shows bring, like, when you actually get through those shows, there's some pretty high quality musicians you're working with, and the crew and the techs and the production stuff. It's all pretty massive, isn't it? It's a scale we're not used to. Yeah.
Like, it's not every day you get to work with a whole production crew, so it was really good experience.
Yeah.
So, Nikisha, when you talked about writing and you're starting to get, figure out your writing thing, do you play an instrument? You play guitar, or you?
I do play a guitar. Yeah. So
that's your main writing instrument?
Well, I only started playing and learning guitar to actually support myself when I started busking and doing solo gigs and stuff like that. So I never say I'm a guitarist, because I'm not the best at it, and it's enough for me to get myself to the bar.
That's all you need.
That's all, which is true. To write, that's all you need. And so I definitely use my guitar when I'm writing songs, and sometimes I do write lyrics and then I apply the guitar later, and then sometimes it's vice versa. I've written songs when I've started the chords and the kind of the feel of the song, and then I've written songs, and yeah, it kind of chops and changes and depends on who I write with too.
Yeah, okay. But only one in a McDonald's car park. So
That's it. The idea sparked there, but I did come home and write on the guitar.
So I guess now that you've dropped Ace of Spades, and it, like what I heard your vocal on, it's kind of that bluesy, it's powerhouse, it's sassy, it's got all that going on. So is that the direction of the material these days? Like if you're going to say this is where you're heading, that's where you're going. Have you got a few more of those up your sleeve, or what do you think?
100% I do. There's a few things in the works at the moment, and it's going to keep going on that attitude, sassy country rock feel. So we've got some cool stuff happening, but nothing I'm going to share right now.
Didn't fall for it, Braggy. Didn't fall for it.
Couldn't get the scoop.
So we didn't get the scoop. Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
We'll kick
the interview's not over yet.
It's not. Yeah. Let's just trick her. So your next record, when's that coming out?
Well, we actually don't have a set date yet, so that's literally nothing has been set in stone yet.
Okay.
And is there you had I think they call it a visualizer for Ace of Spades. Is there going to be a full clip for that?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
It's only stay with the visualizer. Maybe one day I'll move into music videos, but at the moment, with the costs of everything, I have to do what my budget will let me do.
But with small, there's a discussion. I've had this discussion with a number of smaller independent artists that, like in the modern day, the world's changed. Is a video the investment that you want it to be? Wouldn't you be better off spending money on, promoting Reels, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram? There's a better spend and you'll get better reach than you would the video clip, I'd suspect.
100%. I worked with Jeremy Minute on the visualizer, and we actually did a package where we did social media reels plus the visualizer, because it was cheaper to do that than do a music video. So absolutely. Yeah, that's 100%. Nowadays, you've really got to push the social media because people don't have that much of an attention span anymore. So if you can catch them and multiple times catch them on their scrolling, doom scrolling, then that's how you got to do it now.
Yeah.
The one I've seen being worked on lately is YouTube Shorts as well. So you get your Instagram stuff and you post it to YouTube Shorts. I saw one blow up the other day from a young fella. It had like 140,000 in like a day or two. So YouTube Shorts. So just recycle the content, whole different audience.
Yeah, true. I actually forget that YouTube Shorts are a thing because I don't actually go on YouTube like at all.
There's a view that's kind of a push. It's like a gateway into Spotify. So there you go.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I've seen some great clips that are just shot on a mobile phone.
Well, more and more, I think. More and more.
Yeah, if you can be creative enough, that can work.
I think the approach is you just film yourself doing your song on a phone over and over again in a different room and keep posting that, and that's as good a value, if not better value, than a clip.
Yeah, you look at Amy Shark at the moment talking about Idol. She always seems to get that timing just right with her latest album or song coming on when she's got all this massive exposure. But her social media is at complete odds against who she appears to be on Australian Idol, and it creates like it's a really cool image. I like Amy on socials because she's a bit all over the place and coming across as just normal neurotic us. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. So Nikisha, is it just you at the moment, or do you have support around you, like managers or anything? And then you were talking about your country rock image on stage. Do you have a band that you prefer to play with, or is it set musos when you do shows?
So I'm working management-wise. I'm currently working I'm currently working with Mike V at the moment. He's helping me out, and I'm currently working with him. And then band-wise, I'm starting to do more and more band shows. My only set player is my fiddle player, Cheyenne Irwin, who is actually my best friend as well. So it's really cool being able to travel around and be on stage with your best friend. And it's a really cool experience as well. And I just have like a bit of I chop and change who I use depending on who's available and if they're kind of local to a certain area I'm going to, or they're at the same lineup and playing for someone else already. So it kind of chops and changes, but which is nice because I get to work with new people, different people, and yeah.
That's cool. You go, sorry, Rossy.
Yeah, so you're doing pubs and rodeos, honky tonks, festival stages, stuff like that. What sort of audience do you prefer? What would bring out the most unhinged Nikisha Priest?
Good question.
That's a good question, actually. Really, any stage that I have a good audience who's really just partying, they're really vibrant, enjoying the night, and interacting as well. I love interacting with the audience, and if the band feeds off energy from the audience, and there's nothing better than being up on stage and then you've got like a bunch of people that are giving you that same energy, and it just kind of bounces off each other.
Absolutely. So like I saw that clip on YouTube, and it's like a front bar almost, where you on that one. So yeah, that's I can just see you standing out there in a raucous.
I could see you doing the odd muster too, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
And slowly, more and more, we're slowly getting there. And I am still kind of newish to the scene band-wise, and trying to reach for bigger and better things. So kind of taking every opportunity as it comes as well.
So if it's not the band, you do solo thing? You just do, like you said, you do busking and stuff? You just...
I don't busk anymore, but I do some solo gigs here and there as good money gigs, and the band gigs are to try elevate and get further and further. So yeah,
the solo ones would be good for when you've got a new song. Just to, if it works with just the guitar, then it's going to work.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, Nikisha, just totally off music. We all love our pets and our pups and whatnot, but I'm dying to know what a schmoodle is.
It's
a little pen he draws with. It's a smiggle, isn't it? Sorry.
Well, I've got two little schmoodles, and they're Shih Tzu Maltese poodles.
Shih Tzu.
I've had a Maltese Shih Tzu poodle too, and his name was Sumo.
Schmoodles.
Schmoodles. I didn't know they were called that. Ours was just, we called him a Maltese Shih Tzu. He's dumb dog.
So it's like a Shih Tzu but with curly hair, yeah?
Yeah, they've got. I don't know. Both of my dogs are kind of. They're fluffy.
Ours was wiry hair.
Fluffy.
Ours had like wiry hair. And he also had an underbite. It had an underbite. It was like this.
Oh God!
Couldn't afford the dog braces.
That's fair enough.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. Have you set any goals for this year, Nikisha?
100%. Just definitely getting back into releasing more music now that I have really found musically where I'm at, and really striving and going with that. And just getting every opportunity I can, especially with the band, any festival, any opening slot. I'm just really, really open to new experiences, new horizons.
Okay. So when
So
you recorded your music, sorry, Rossy, I'll keep
No, that's all right.
dragging on here.
Go.
So
Go.
when you record, do you do it in a studio or do you do it at home and mix it? I see your Ace of Spades was produced by Simon Johnson. So is that in a recording studio or is that a more DIY effort?
No, it's produced with Simon Johnson, who's who runs Hillbilly Hut. He's based out in Martinsville at the moment, which is very close to me. And I've known Simon for quite a few years now, and I actually started when I was about 14 or 15 doing work experience with him. So I built a bit of a relationship with him, and now, we work on new projects together, and he's amazing to work with. And I love creating, bringing songs to life with him.
So you've been working independently for a long time, right? Like you've been grinding it out since you were 5. Yeah. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Like out of all the things, because as you know, as a performer nowadays, you have to be a social media guy, then you have to be your own tour manager, your bus driver, your guitar tech. What would be the one thing that people would go, shit, didn't know she could do that? What would that be?
See, I actually had something the other day and I thought, I could use that as my party trick, but I can't actually remember what it was now. Oh no, I'm pretty good at not showing up to a party, I guess. Unless I'm actually on the bill to play a show, I usually don't really go out.
Well, I mean, you worked in the beauty parlor, so you got your own makeup artist as well.
Oh yeah, true. If you ever need your eyebrows waxed, I'm your girl.
Righto. I remember that for my next video.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's going to help.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could tint them as well if you'd like.
Ooh.
Maybe go the blonde Cody Rossy like Ackermanis.
I think green would be good for you.
Yeah,
I love
the
green.
shirt. Yeah,
I love green.
Yeah, especially for St. Patrick's Day and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Now probably. Sorry.
No,
probably.
Yeah, you go.
The CMAA Senior Academy. So, Country Music Australian Academy, I'm presuming. Is that something that's linked in with the Tamworth experience, or is that something more formal?
So it's an initiative that is directed towards country musicians. It's very open as well. Different genres do tend to come in, but it's based in Tamworth, run by Lynn Botel and Roger Corbett. They have put together this, it's kind of like a speed through 2-week intensive course about the music industry. And I did that in 2024, freshly after I graduated high school. And it was an amazing intro into the music industry and finding my people. And I'm really close friends with people that I've been and graduated at the academy with. And it was a amazing experience for me myself, and I know it helps a lot of people, and very, very grateful to have been a part of it.
Yeah. So you've done the academy, you've done Idol, you've done main stage stuff. When was that in the conservatorium as well? What was that point that made you go, yeah, I've got this, I reckon I'm going to do it for sure? When was that? There's always that time when you sit there going, I'd like to be a singer, I'd like to do this, but then all of a sudden go, fuck that, I'm going for it. When would that have been?
Hang on, can you I lost you for a second. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. You've done all those things, right? And there's just one point in that journey where you've just gone, you know what? Yeah, I am going for it. I'm doing it. So everyone's fascinated. When was that for you?
So when I said, okay, I'm going to stick to it and I'm going to put all my effort to making this my career.
Yeah.
I was 5.
Yeah.
I have never known anything different.
I knew that was going to be the answer.
Yeah, I honestly, since day dot, have been like, I am going to do this.
Because what's interesting is you come from it just came to you out of nowhere, even though you're only 5. And no one's pushing you to do music. So you didn't even did you see someone on TV or something and you went?
Well, when I was about 2 years old, I have always idolized Pink. She has been my absolute number one, who I have just absolutely looked up to my whole entire life, up until now. And I think that could have definitely influenced me. And I've always loved music. I've always kind of been singing around everywhere. But yeah, randomly being 5, I don't know. It's no one's pushed me to do it. No one's ever. Yeah, it's always been my own race and me pushing myself and funding it and everything. So yeah, I'm very thankful. My mum's a businesswoman as well. So I've been grown up around that and striving to achieve what I want to achieve. So
have some goals.
So yeah, so strong women in your life like Pink, super strong, tough ass, and your mum obviously.
Tough chick.
Yeah.
Tough chick. Yeah.
That's got to help for sure.
Yeah.
Set you up really well. Nikisha, we had another young performer some time back called Gavin Harper from East Tennessee, and he had released songs similar to yourself while he was still at school, right? And so I asked him the question about were the kids at school some of his biggest fans, and his response actually surprised me. He said, well, no, most of them weren't listening to my music. So you would have released your first 2 songs while you were still at school. So what was the experience with that, walking around school knowing that you've got music out there on the streaming platforms, or that you were going in Idol and, Starstruck and all this other stuff that you've been doing? Were you just a normal kid at school, or did people sort of see something in you and sort of treated you maybe slightly different?
I was always known as the singer. Everyone knew kind of what I did and what I got up to, but I was never the popular kid, never the one. I was kind of when my songs came out, I'd be walking around school and some kids would mock me, and that.
Yeah, they do that.
But school was not somewhere I flourished, and it's somewhere that I dreaded going. So yeah,
got sick of it very early.
100%. Yeah. So it was definitely a time where I didn't flourish. I didn't fit in. I was always the outsider and never really fit in too much. And yeah, it's just
didn't care either.
Oh, see, I definitely did care to a certain level, because, it's not great being alone or being picked on, or, having girls say things about you. And, it wasn't just girls, boys, whatever, children. Yeah, so I always put on a tough exterior to be like, oh, you say what you want about me. And I don't really care on a surface level. I go, oh, say what you want about me, I don't really care. But on the inside, it kind of does push through a little bit, and I'm like, oh, I do tend to take it a little bit. And but I'm starting to learn, it just can't break through that barrier, because otherwise I will never get out of it. So yeah, it's some things hit harder than others, and I was just definitely when I was 16 or in high school, it just definitely I was struggling, and very close to actually being pulled out of school or moving schools, but I'm actually happy that it all happened to me, because it has made me tougher and my skin is a lot thicker. So,
which is handy when you're up in front of people, and because not every crowd is partying.
Your
sometimes
mates.
you get those people. Yeah, sometimes you get those people. You don't know.
But it does. Yeah, but like it takes a lot of courage to put out tracks at 16, right? A 16-year-old kid to put out songs takes a bit of balls, bit of drive. It's more than most kids will do, right? But the thing is, I think that whole concept you talked about very early is like, Nikisha versus Nikisha Priest are two different people, right?
Yeah.
And the concept of performer as character versus performer as person. I was working for this guitar player who was in a very successful band, and he's a great bloke and I loved him dearly. But then just before he'd go on stage, I'd give him his guitar. The intro tape would start. The bass player, the drummer, the other guitarists were on the stage going for it. I'd put his guitar on him, and he'd just stand there, look at me and go, then open his eyes, and he was gone. It wasn't Jeff anymore. He was gone. He went on stage, just absolutely went ballistic. And probably sometime the next day we saw him again. He was back to normal. But until like 4 o'clock in the morning, he was that guy.
Yeah.
It's that play. And people come up and approach you after a show, and it's like, they don't like me. They like that person. They're two different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same for a lot of great artists. David Bowie, same thing in his biography.
Yeah, about 500. He was like Sybil.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it is that you got to protect yourself. And that's a good way of doing it too.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about performers and mental health over the last couple of months. And and for performers, it's brutal and economically disenfranchised, and sort of that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So when you come off stage the next day, you do feel a bit flat, right? And all that self-care stuff, and people need to look and understand how that works. It's really important. And the earlier younger performers learn that, the better off they're going to be, I think, too.
100%. And it's something we've got to adjust to, because you don't actually realize it, but you're going from such a high and then plummeting so quickly down. So that's how it quickly affects musicians, and drastically as well, because it's initially that highs and lows of our career, and you've got to find that happy medium where you come off stage and you need that personal life to not mimic it, but you've got to be able to slow yourself down and have those moments.
Did they give you any advice on that at CMAA? Did they talk anything about that, or was it just all the business?
Yeah, there was definitely. I don't think there was a workshop about it. Oh, there might have been actually, but I definitely know there was conversation around that and working about towards that.
It can be brutal. That's how where drugs and alcohol come into the equation, become problematic, and you're kind of just.
Why?
And so you come off stage and you're just wandering around for the next 3 hours. You can't sleep. You're hungry. You're not hungry. You're tired. You're elated. Or you've got the shits, which often happens as well. You can be really happy or very unhappy. You feel things more intensely than others, and it's just something I think that performers are talking about a lot more, and I really admire the fact they talk about it a lot more. And I think it's a really important thing to sort of have as part of the discussion of being a performer, is to realize that and find ways to, just be nice to yourself,
Well said,
and it's a lesson we've got to learn.
And I guess one of those things that you've got to look forward to, Nikisha, is that as your success grows, you're suddenly going to find all these people at school who were acted the way they were when they were when they were at school will suddenly start saying, "I knew Nikisha," and potentially reaching out for free tickets. So something to look forward to.
Straight to span.
Yeah, honestly, that's when I'll know that I've gotten there. When I get back.
That's good.
And that is such a great way to look at it. Nikisha, it's been absolutely outstanding speaking with you tonight. Ace of Spades, I wouldn't even call it country, to be honest. I think it's a lot more rock than country. It's a real sharp difference from the first two songs from a couple of years ago, but it is so invigorating to see someone so young decide what they want to do and continue that path. On behalf of us, we just wish you every single success, and you're always welcome to come back as the green-haired country rock chick and talk to us old fellas about any of your new music that you've got coming out.
Yeah, 100%. No, thank you guys for having me on the show.
No doubt we'll have less hair by the next time she comes back. We'll have less hair.
Maybe I'll get a green wig.
Yeah, I might have one here somewhere.
I'm
think you do.
pretty confident you do too. Hey, Nikisha, is Nashville on your horizons, do you think?
I would love to go to Nashville. That is somewhere I would dream, 100% a dream to be there, to go there at least once would be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess with the world at your feet, you'll have plenty of opportunities, and even someone like I shouldn't say even Tori Dark's killing it. She's playing at the CM. Is it CMC over there? It's CMC.
Yeah, it is
this year, and she's just gone ballistic with that. The Boots Made Me Do That song that he just loves, and Mel Dyer's over there now, and Brittany Elise is over there now, and Katrina Burgoyne's there now. There's so many Aussies there. You would you'd find it quite homely, I'd imagine, but all in due course too. You don't want to get there too quick and get chewed up and spat out. So
100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So Nikisha, what's the best social media platform for people to follow you on?
Honestly, all of them. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So you can always find me there. And then obviously all streaming platforms with my original music.
Awesome.
Facebook for the old people.
Yeah.
You said it.
It is. It is.
We know.
We know.
I love scrolling Marketplace, actually. I do quite like Facebook.
Yes.
I know Facebook Marketplace gets me in trouble, I assure you. I've got a room full of guitars. I don't need another one.
It's danger.
All righty. So this weekend, we've got our fingers crossed that we'll be speaking to another USA country artist, Sam Riddle. Last time, unfortunately, he got out of town instead of coming on the show. So we've got our fingers crossed we get to chat with him on our Saturday morning, his Friday night. LA based, recorded in Nashville. So it'll be really interesting to speak with Sam. But outside of that, next week, some of our loyal followers may recall a year or two ago that a certain someone on the show was talking about a song called Servo Pie. And we may be talking about how that particular song, how it has been generated and created, and then having a full-on debate about the the pros and cons against some of the evolving technology that we're seeing in the music game. Should be a good show. So I'm really looking forward to that. So that's what's coming up. If you've loved what you heard, hit follow, share the show, and dig deeper into our Spotify playlist. I'll make sure that Nikisha's songs are all on our Fresh Country Artists and our Every Damn Song playlist. So they'll be on there as well. As always, more artists, more stories, more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. As always, guys, I will see you next week. And Nikisha, it's been an absolute joy having you on the show.
No, thank you so much for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
It's all a dream, I wake and see what was the past. I've come to think that nothing is perfect. Then I think about my happy days, full of warmth, no sadness there. Then I think, can we go back to where we were? I can't stand to think we can't go back to where we were. It's making me drown with all the thoughts of what it could be.
Feeling that's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.